Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers Lunch session. I am Ranger J 1999. You are one of your hosts for the lunch stream. And what is the lunch stream? Well, that's where we just sit around for an hour and entertain you fine folks for the next hour and break everything down, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes or whatever you want to talk about, and just have some fun and be goofy and do a little Ross reviews, answer some questions, grind and chase some chickens. It's quality entertainment at its highest level. And if you believe that, I have some beachfront property in the desert that I would love to sell you. All right, that being said, let's introduce the panel. It's pretty much the same cast of characters that you have come accustomed to. First of all, we have the Brown Gandalf, the Government Wi-Fi Stealer, the Beardless One, the Chicken Chaser, the one and only, the First Tickler Grande Patron.
From this point forward, I'd like to be known as the artist formerly known as Grande Patron.
Okay, what would you like to be known as?
No. That you just had to call me that. The artist.
The artist formerly known as Grande Patron. His new name is Ricky.
What's up, man? I'm doing great.
All right. Also joining us is who's been doing a great job is the Apprentice. Saintly Red is here.
Hello there.
Hello there. Also joining us is the one and only Grim the Mechanic.
How's it going?
We also have from across the pond the one and only Mike Hunt is here.
I'm ribbed for your pleasure today. Well, if Grande's changing his name, I'm changing mine.
That's right. And I think Dr. Finn Medicine Woman's around somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. He's been busy. He's using work as an excuse not to be on and to talk. He's got like meetings, so you know that old chestnut. And then also we got from his own channel, Zyla Takedown, the one and only Zyla Takedown.
What's going on, guys? I'll show you the dark side.
I bet you will. Let's see. And did I miss anybody? Is Sherlocky here? Anybody else? Anybody else? Maybe? No?
Bueller.
No. But the way it works, just go ahead and get your questions in. We're going to do some Ross reviews like we always do, and then we'll answer some of your questions. And no, I'm not buying a pack today. You walk in. No!
You walking.
Good Lord. Now, if you would like to support us, there's a bunch of ways you can before we start getting into everything. You can support us by giving us a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. That way you get the latest and greatest of content that we're doing today. So today we'll do the lunch stream. We're going to do a Battlefront 2 stream afterwards. I don't know what time yet because I got to see what Ben Zelly's schedule is. And then it'll be before our regular stream, which will be at 8 Eastern, where we will basically have our Wednesday night Star Wars Galaxy Heroes stream. We break down the latest and greatest in all of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news and tell you what it all means. And then if you would like to support us, keep the channel financially, to donate, you can do it a couple ways. You have the super chat function on the bottom. You can donate anything you like. But if you donate $20, you get VIP status, which means you get your own channel in Discord. You get full access to us and all the background stuff that we're doing. And we do a lot of cool stuff like asking your guys' input for questions like we did with CG Carry, things of that nature. And then also we are going to be, if you would like to, you get that with the VIP status. But then if you become a sponsor for $4.99 a month, you get the cool little, not only do you get VIP status, but you get the cool little icon next to your name. And you can use all the emotes that everyone uses, the emojis like Baby Ranger, Grande the half man, half chicken, Baby Finn. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff in there that you guys can use. And then also we have the Amazon wish list. Everybody keeps begging to put... I got to tell you guys, I got something, the coolest thing I've ever seen in the mail yesterday. This wasn't even on the wish list. I've got, on the wish list, I put ridiculous stuff on there. Like, I don't expect you guys to ever get that. Because I'm like, all right, y'all want to play this game? I will put the most retarded thing, expensive thing on there. And I know you'll never get it, so don't worry about it. And then I put, like, I need, like, the Xbox, the battery recharger thing for... If anybody out there would like $14.99, that's fine. Do not get the $300 thing. I will be very upset with you if you do. Don't do that. That's why I put that ridiculous crap up there. But someone sent me this incredible artwork. It's a picture of Rhodes Mask. I'm going to show it tonight on the Wednesday night stream. I don't know who it was because I didn't know the address and I can't read the signature on the bottom. But I think it's Revan's mask. It's a big giant picture of Revan's mask with the gray and red colors, right? And it's got the scenes, I think, from the game in each little panel of the mask. It's the coolest thing ever, man. I don't know who sent that to me, but thank you so much. That is badass. And we've gotten funny stuff like I got Dash Rendar sent me the Dash Rendar, I'm pretty sure. I didn't know if it was him, but somehow I got the Dash Rendar figure that is now hanging up behind me during the streams. I think Finn's got a Twinkie maker before, and then, we got some funny stuff there. Tits has got a little, for all you Tits followers out there, we've got, she's got a little wish list up there, cool little funny stuff. So we've got the cool little funny stuff that you guys have been telling us to put up there. So we did it on the Amazon wish list if you guys would want to do it that. So I don't know who sent that to me, but thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I think, Grande, have you put a Amazon wish list up there yet?
No, I still need to do that.
Yeah. There'll probably be a lot of chicken products. I'm just saying. I'm not a rocket science, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot of chicken products up there. And we'll get Sir Loki's up there as well. I mean, it's just fun when people send us cool stuff like that. And I will show off that picture. I think that is really, really badass and cool. So, that being said, I think that's all the mechanisms. That's all the stuff we need to say. All right. Should we get into now Stanley's scooping up all the questions as we get them. Should we do a roster review?
We should.
You know what? True is our roster review today. I wonder if I can.
I thought we had 2 roster reviews.
We do have 2 roster reviews today. We do. The first one is the one and only from the RSG crew, the Battlefront 2 crew, who is currently finishing his marketing school or something like that, manager school that he's doing in Ohio. He is, we are doing his roster review, and I think he had a message in here. It says, let's see, that's from Rengundor.
I see 2 of them.
He says, arena mods, what characters to farm next? Okay, so he wants us to look at his arena. Now, he is running, and he's very true to this team.
Wait. Let's talk. So let's say who's we're doing.
We're doing True Breezes first.
Okay, so we're gonna do True Breeze first.
That's right.
Okay, so we got to talk about True Bree, and we want to give a big shout out to his guild. His guild is the Senate Hoth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, and he is running a First Order team. He loves First Order. He's stuck with it, and he wants us to look at his arena mods. And then what's that?
So it's everybody, at least in my arena, everybody who runs First Order in arena drops like this.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because First Order team can climb real good, but everybody wants to fight them. And I think somebody brought in a good opinion about this. Why do people like fighting against First Order? And the reason why I think is because everybody wants practice for
territory wars.
And so so potentially, as much as I hate to say it, he may end up wanting to change his arena team so he doesn't.
Well, the thing he's missing right off the back is First Order Executioner, which totally changes the dynamic of the team. I got mine to Gear 12 yesterday. Holy buckets of balls, Grande. That dude is sick. He's sick. He hits.
I mean, look, he's got him at Gear 11 and he's got him at 5-star, so you know he's working.
Yeah, he's working on him. If that dude makes a huge difference in this team. My God, take out the TIE Fighter pilot and put in an Executioner, and you've got yourself a nice little yum sandwich. I mean, right,
and it'll win on offense. The challenge here is that it doesn't do super awesome.
Yeah, the AI doesn't do. It does some weird stuff. Like the thing is, like on offense, right? Now, don't get us wrong. In Territory Wars is a pain in the ass team. You have to use a meta team.
He needs to continue to run First Order, though, rolling through his roster.
Yeah.
A little bit. He needs to stick with First Order.
Right. But if he can get Execution here, I think it'll help him a lot, too, because the Execution only has really 2 functions, and the AI doesn't screw that up. The problem is with the other First Order guys, the thing that happens with First Order is the officer... For some reason, he doesn't like the way we use him, right? I always use First Order officer's ability on Stormtrooper. I'm constantly just doing his turn meter thing with First Order and stuff, right? First Order Stormtrooper, because you get assist, and First Order Stormtrooper is constantly going, and he's taunting, and he has counters, and it really makes that team go. The AI sometimes like, this character needs protection, and it'll do that one instead of the First Order Stormtrooper. So that's one thing. Executioner kind of cuts down on that a little bit, but First Order Officer is the key of making that thing work. That's why that's why it's easy to get around sometimes on defense.
It needs to remod him.
Yeah,
his First Order Officer's too slow.
What's the speed on the First Orders? Yeah,
209.
Now remember with crew, and I'll pull up my thing here. I don't even know what mine's at. Let me look. But I'll pull up my First Order team. Now the thing that makes First Order work is you've got the crew lead, right? You want crew lead, and you want crew his second ability, which is his scarred ability, right? So his leader. First Order allies have 40% critical damage and 30 speed. So they get 30 speed from crew. You have to remember that. And when they score a critical hit, they gain 20% turn meter. All right. So, like, say for instance, my crew, I think his speed is 198. Add 30 to that, and that's what his actual speed is, right? And then when we get critical hits, they're getting turn meter from that as well, along with everything else. But yeah, First Order Officer, what would you say his speed needs to be, Mikey?
I'd say ideally he wants him about 230, 240.
I'd have to remod mine. Yeah, mine's only 176. I have to remod mine.
And then with the plus 30 on top of that, because basically he's racing against a lot of fast characters. I would have thought he's probably going against fast Thrawns and whatnot. So yeah. I mean, we'll put it this way, his crew's one faster. His crew's 210. So, yeah.
Well, let's look at the mods for a minute. Is that where you're at right now? Are you looking at all of his mods?
Yeah, I'm clicking on the characters and just looking at all their...
I was trying to click through the characters, too.
Yeah, I did look at the mods, and I didn't see many mods showing with speed and with First Order Officer. That would be my first advice, would be because he passes over turn meter anyway. He's kind of like
he speeds everybody up. The problem is,
exactly. He's a Thrawn, isn't he? You can pass a turn meter to the next one, and
the challenge is that team doesn't the AI doesn't necessarily give it to the right person.
True.
Right. On defense.
In actual fact, something slightly radical, but one of the things I've done with my First Order before now is switched out First Order Officer for Thrawn. Because Thrawn's skill set is very similar to First Order Officers, and normally your Thrawn is a fast toon.
That's interesting. Where is his Thrawn? I didn't even look at his Thrawn.
But the difference between Thrawn and First Order Officer is First Order Officer reduces cooldowns of First Order allies.
Yeah.
So Thrawn just fractures them so they don't move at all. Sorry.
Thrawn does have a lot going for him.
Okay, his Thrawn's 185, so yeah, that's not really.
So it looks like he's trying to make First Order Stormtrooper. First Order TIE Pilot, and then Special Forces First Order TIE Pilot faster. That's where his two first mods are. So potentially those mods need to go on to First Order Officer.
Yeah, this First Order Officer will speed the hell out of your team.
The same thing is potentially true. He's got some of them sitting on Kylo, regular Kylo Ren, and then some sitting on Unmasked. So potentially he needs to pull, like, here's a good example. He's got his fastest triangle is a defense triangle that's sitting on Kylo Ren, regular Kylo Ren. That could probably go on to First Order Officer as well. It also looks like we're missing some speed mods. We haven't been farming speed mods very much.
Mm-mm.
Like speed primary.
Yeah, he's got
sweet
crit damage there on his Resistance Trooper, 15 speed on a speed set. Crit damage. That's that. I want that mod.
Yeah, that's a nice mod.
Mm.
I got my first 20 yesterday. I got an offense triangle.
That's somebody did.
Primary with 20 speed.
Is there anything? I'm looking at my mod. What's in the mod store now? Because I've been getting some mods, and it ain't working out for me, Grande. Every time I get a 5 speed on gold, I try to roll it, and it's like no matter.
I had a 5 speed on gold, and it rolled to 20, bro.
Yeah, mine does not do that. The game hates me.
But I've only gotten one in 18 months. So
yeah. So you know, yeah, chewy.
So it looks like he needs to do a little bit more mod farming as well.
Yeah.
But if we were talking about overall on his roster, he's also got some character finish outs that we need to do. I mean, I get it that he's all in on first order. That's cool. But
let's look at his roster, and so we definitely have to remod your team, dude. But let's look at his overall roster, because that was the second thing that he wanted us to look at.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll pull up on
he needs the veteran bros.
Yeah. I think he's farming those right now. I know when I was last talked to him, he was farming both Han and Chewie to 7-star. He was staying on target. So he's got some pieces here, it looks like.
We got some stuff not unlocked that would probably be nice to get unlocked, right? Potentially Jin, for example. A good piece. Sith Assassin, potentially is a good piece.
He's got BB-8 Gear 9.
Baze, Malbus, and Chirrut potentially we might want to start farming those and getting them unlocked.
CLS.
Death Trooper we might want to work on a little bit.
Yeah, Darth Nihilus needs some work.
Always worth working on your pilots, on your crew members.
Mm-hmm.
Filter and just look at who isn't very high.
I know that what he said was when he said he was finishing the vets back when I talked to him a few weeks ago, that he was going to 7 stars Death Trooper after that. So when he says he's looking to farm more characters, I'm assuming he's looking to farm what he's doing after Death Trooper.
Finish First Order Executioner.
I would agree. It looks like he stopped on Smuggler Han, on Veteran Han, on Viagra Han, and he went over to First Order Executioner when Executioner became farmable. But he's only 1 star off. I mean, if he's only 1 star off, depending on how close he is.
He was getting close. I mean, he was, for both the Viagra brothers, he was well into both of them, getting them 7 stars. So even if
he's got one of them 7, and the other one he has at 6.
No, both veterans are both 6.
Really? I thought I saw.
Yeah, Veteran Han and Chewie are 6 stars.
Sorry, I was looking at Clone Wars Chewbacca.
So he switched over to Executioner because it's an easier node to finish, and he's already got that First Order so valuable he needs the Executioner, and then so he's going Vets after, and then Death Trooper. So he's got a list still, and obviously, you know, we need.
And I would agree for him personally too. I totally agree with that. For him personally, he needed to go over to Executioner and then go back. Yeah. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and he's got them almost done. So it's not like he'll have to panic farm or anything when the JTR event comes around. I mean, he can finish those off in a couple of days and then go to JTR. If he finishes Executioner and then goes finish them off, then he's still good. So he's got plenty of time.
But I think he should do like what we've talked about before, which is go farm 2 days mods and 5 days character.
He does need mods,
mods and 5 days character.
Yep.
So what he can do is he can finish Executioner, finish the vets, then go back to starring the Death Trooper, and then on top of all that, he needs to focus on getting more tunes to 7 stars to finish out the rest of those extra mod events that he needs to finish to get those extra 5-dot mods.
Really, you need crit chance, you need speed,
And he needs to finish top 100 in arena every day.
Yeah, I mean that's going to make a big difference. You know, so if we can
well, I know he's got crit chance because he's got the scoundrels for credit heist. So it's basically what do we prioritize around that? Like speed.
He needs to farm speed mods.
Yeah,
religiously for a while.
And he's been playing for about a year and a half.
Yeah, but he took a break in between. So I think he was playing, then he stopped, and then he came back and started playing again.
Gotcha.
So he's a little bit behind the power curve, but he's got a chance to, if he stays on target, to really have a nice roster. But, you know, Troopers need a little bit more love. You know, that's going to be a really good team for him. Night Sisters, I see he's worked on a little bit. He needs to, when he get his chance, you know, work on them. But yeah, Troopers definitely need some love. That's a really good team that he needs to focus in on. Just for gear, not for anything. He's got them farmed other than Death Trooper, right? But he's got Veers, 7 stars. Let's see, what other troopers does he have? I'm looking.
Yeah, Snow Trooper's a good one to gear too.
Yeah, he's got his Snow Trooper at 9, so I don't see Stark. There's Stark. You need to get Stark up higher. He's got Magma done. Okay. Stormtrooper's done, but is only gear 7. That's another one. But yeah, get that once he gets Death Trooper, I'd get his troopers up. You know, you want to go this in teams. This is how I kind of attacked it. It's like, okay, what teams do I have? JTR done, right? Rebels done. First Order done. I'm finishing up Night Sisters done, right? Then I'll finish up gearing Bounty Hunters. So half of them are gear 11, but I'm like, let me finish Night Sisters first to gear 11, and then I'll go back in and.
The other thing too is we don't have to be completionists.
No,
right?
I just think it's just easier to stay on target that way, right? You know,
right. No, but here's what I mean though: is whenever we talk about this character is done, I think we need to maybe define that a little bit, right? 7-star, 85, all the purples on them.
Yeah, gear 11
and gear 11.
Yeah, because gear 11 to 12 is another thing. They don't have to have all
their Omegas done. They don't have to have all their Zetas done. What we're trying to say is, what's the minimum amount of gear and resources I need to put into them to be considered, okay, this team is good enough where I could put it in arena. This team has good enough mods.
Or territory battles and territory wars.
And territory battles. And once they're that good, then you move on to another team.
Right. Because gear 11 to gear 12 is another thing. So you're getting all these characters to gear 11, right? As you get gear 12 pieces, or 11 to 12 pieces, because those are the ones you're going to get from, supposedly, Heroic AET, which I am not getting. I am getting the worst drops. I finished top 10 and it's like nothing. I'm getting really frustrated, but it is what it is. And some of them require, but you're doing raids, right? You're going to get a lot of gear out of raids if you're really participating, right? And then you've got the heroic. You're getting territory battles. You're getting some stuff in territory wars, right? So you're getting gear and stuff from there. Plus, what you know, if you're farming, so that's where you're going to be your gear source as you're getting characters up. What you should be using your tokens and everything else on is getting characters, right? Getting them to 7 stars. As many as you can that are the essential 7 stars ones. I mean, don't worry about cup or anything like that. I mean, it's not going to do you any good. Once you get to that certain point where you've gotten those main core group of characters, then you start going, all right, what do I need to get them up to that next gear level? And then you can start taking some stuff. But, you know, I would farm Hermit Yoda before I farm Gear 12. It's not like you're not going to get Gear 12 out of other places. It'll be a bit slower to get those Gear 12 pieces, but you're getting Hermit Yoda, you're getting Wampa, you're getting some of these characters that you really need. And a lot of people make that mistake. You know, they'll go and finish one team to Gear 12, and then you have nothing else. It's like, okay, great. You've got first. He's like, all right, I've got JTR. What else do you have? I have nothing. Okay. No, don't do that. All right. So, gonna have to remod. Now, if you need help with your remodding, True, just get with us. We'd be more glad to help you out. Grande is a mod master. He'll tell you in about 5 minutes which mods to pull from where and who to put it on. Your arena team will be rock and rolling. It's amazing. He looks at the this goes there. So, done. All right, so True's is done. So the next one is Ren Gunders. Is there anything else you guys saw on True before we move on?
I think we're good.
Okay. Ren Gundor's profile. Let's see. In Skype, we have a message from him. It says, well, lately I've been working on First Order. My Trooper, Kylo, and First Order TIE Pilot are maxed with Zetas. I've got the Execution of Gear 12 along with the Officers. Should I move on to something else or develop the mass Kylo Ren and replace someone from the previous 5? If you have my roster, what arena team would you gals choose? My job currently keeps you from being available for arena payout, so most of the focus lately has been on PvE. Should I just say F it all and just work on my Ewoks? Please feel free to take any time necessary to troll as you see fit. Well, we don't do that here. I'll troll Grande, but we don't troll people's rosters.
Yeah, we just troll. We troll each other because we're actually we're like that. So anyway, so how do we pronounce this guy's name again?
I'm saying Ren Gundor.
Ren Gundor?
Yeah.
Sigma Alliance Sith Lords.
There
That's the guild. Woo-hoo. And right now in Arena, we've gone back and forth between, it looks like, First Order and
the JTR team.
JTR team. It appears as though he may have been getting a higher rank with JTR than he is with the First Order.
Right.
I think JTR is still a viable team, and the team he's got in there is actually viable.
It's very viable. It's a tough team to keep up in the top.
His time is tough though.
Yeah, his time is tough.
Time-sensitive team, so we probably need to work on that a little bit. So let's look at characters first. And I don't know why Swagaga is being really slow for me.
It's being slow for me today too.
Okay, so it's like I have to click it, and then we all have to fill in time with chat.
It's like, so, Grande, how's the massage therapy going? You know, so.
Yeah. All right. So
we'll get there eventually. It's loading.
I always think it's funny the ads I get that pop up on Swagaga.
I know. They got to make money too.
I mean, I either get car ads, I get gun ads, or now, for whatever reason, I seem to be getting a lot of ads directed toward elderly people. I'm getting the Alzheimer's Association. Anyway, it just makes me chuckle. He has CLS done. He has R2 done. Ray. He's got a lot of stuff already.
He does. I mean, Mother Talzin, Scare 11.
Vader. Look at Palpatine and Vader.
Yeah, absolutely. Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, Nihilus, and
he's nearly 3 million GP, isn't he?
Yeah. His roster looks really good.
Done. He could easily run this Palp team in Arena. I didn't check the Zeta on Palp, if we had a Zeta on Palp yet. So here in 5 minutes, after I'm done with my massage, and the internet decides to click on, maybe we'll actually...
He needs to get his Han Solo up as well. He's only gear 10 with his Han Solo. I would gear him, and I don't know if he has a Zeta on.
We do have a Zeta on the Emperor of the Galactic Empire. That's the leader, I think, right? It's not the Crackling Doom one, so I think that's correct. So we have his leader done. So he could run Palp lead if he wanted to.
Yeah, I would. It's a better
I would
team.
definitely suggest doing Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, Nihilus, and maybe GK. Let's see if we got another tank that we really love that could go in there that he's ready with. I'm not seeing it. Probably GK then.
Yeah.
And maybe for climbing, he's got a gear 11. Excuse me, he's got a gear 10 Scion 4-star. So we're almost there on Scion potentially. I think potentially he should run that team. My thoughts. Let's look at his mods. Yes.
So I jumped ahead, and I was just looking at his First Order officer as he's running First Order a lot at the moment. And the first thing that I pick up on is his First Order officer is clocking in at 220, much better speed on
right,
that.
plus 30 because of Kylo Ren lead, so 250.
Yeah. And 2 out of the 6 mods are speed mods. He's got a 30 arrow and he's got a 12 square. So my advice there would be, if you've got 2 speed mods that don't show speed, switch them. I mean, hopefully
he's got tons he could put on there.
If you've got a circle and a cross,
he's got a 14
stick 'em on.
speed cross. He's got a 14 speed cross sitting on Night Sister Acolyte, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, if he stole a little bit from this Night Sister team,
complete the set, and you're going to add 10% onto it, aren't you? 10%.
You know, he's got some good mods sitting on Chopper. He's got some good mods sitting on his Death Trooper. Just jumping ahead, kind of looking at mods, so he could easily remod the First Order. I still think First Order is going to be a pain in the rear. He's going to have to be focused on his game to climb. And he already said arena payout time is not good for him, which in my mind means he really needs to get a team that holds better on defense and that doesn't make him stick out so bad, which in my mind is a Palpatine team.
Yep.
I mean, part of it is you're hiding in the weeds. So if he remodded and went more Vader speed and went more Palpatine, I think that would be a better choice. So if he remodded and put all of these mods on page 1, so taking some of these mods off of First Order Execution, First Order Stormtrooper, taking mods off of First Order Officer, mods off of R2-D2 and off of Night Sister Zombie. He got the set bonuses right. I mean, he's got a full set. He has a full set without the arrow. I mean, looking at his mods, he has a potency set, a potency cross, you know, and everything is plus 14 speed. So he could easily get, you know, Vader to, you know, probably plus 90, plus 95 speed. Just just looking at what he's got right here in this set of mods plus a speed arrow.
He's got a 7. No, go on.
So he could probably get him over 100 speed. Maybe even. I mean, I can get him. I mean, plus 120 is probably where you want your Vader to be at if you're going to run him. But I think you could get really close there with what he's got.
I've just switched over and had a quick look at his Sith, and he's got a 7-star Trooper and a 4-star Scion. They're both gear 10 at the moment. Because the one thing I noticed on his Empire is he's a bit low on tanks. And obviously you do need, and Sith Trooper is a fantastic tank to run with.
I got 3 or 4 guys running GK on that team, and it works.
Yeah, it works fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the best, but it does work and save some resources, right? And then you could almost skip Sith Trooper and just keep working Scion, and whenever Scion goes farmable, then work Scion to 7-star and then swap Scion out. My guess is when we get Traya, right? It's Traya, Nihilus, Scion, probably Palpatine or Vader, and it may or may not include Sith Trooper at all. We may not even be talking about Sith Trooper anymore.
That'd be sad.
I'm just saying, though.
Yeah,
you can only bring 5, right? Which 5 you gonna bring? And you've already got 1 tank, and the Triumvirate has to stay together, which means you got 2 other spots. I'm not sure that Sith Trooper makes that double tank team. It may be that we're talking about Sith Assassin on that team for all we know, right? Who knows? But I think he could easily get to the point where he's finishing, in my opinion, in the top 20 in regular arena.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that's nice, well, he didn't do it either. It's so nice when these guys have their stinking ally code in here, so I can type it in game and we can start looking at their ships arena as well. I know he didn't really ask us about ships, but I think we should probably look at his ships.
Well, he didn't ask about ships, so I mean, but we can look at his ships roster overall.
So let me bring it up. Right?
Yeah, good job, Rodney. No, we're not doing that.
Oh man, I think that he's just a couple of tweaks, arena team change, some mod switches, and he could end up in the top 20 every day.
Yeah, I've just seen, of course, I was looking on Empire and Sith initially, but of course, having a Gear 12 7-star, if it's Gear 12, it has to be 7-star. First Order Stormtrooper, that could be a naughty tank in there as well, because
They could.
you've got the assist chance and you've got another cleanser. I might try that actually.
Oi.
I know a lot of people have also put in Kylo Ren as the tank on that team. Zeta Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
2-turn stun is pretty cool for a tank.
Kylo Ren.
And he's fast.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Okay. Well.
All right. So let's get to some questions.
That's right. Mainly.
Old Jazz. Question: I have some Omegas burning a hole in my pocket and was considering giving some to my bounty hunter boys. Or any you would recommend as a priority? Thanks in advance for all the help.
Boba Fett. That's my opinion on that.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett
and Greedo. Those to me seem like the two best Zetas at the moment, at least for gives you an extra stun. With Greedo, you're gonna get revived with protection with Boba Fett. Bosk is interesting, but I don't ever Zeta anybody that's not gear 11 at least, or not gear 10 at least, and I don't Zeta them at least until they're 6-star.
Did you make yourself a tea?
No.
Oh, sweet daughter of
And not make anyone else one?
No.
Wary daughter,
get off! I'm streaming. Don't tickle me.
Wary daughter sighting.
To make a note too, on the Zetas, I mean, there has been tunes that have had value at a 4-star, 3-star level Zeta, like Scion, like we speculated from a few weeks ago. But very rarely you'll see that, and like we kind of overhyped Bosk a little bit, if you ask me. I think he looks great. I think he's going to be awesome when he's at 7 stars. But right now, it's just not worth a Zeta, if you ask me.
It's purely PvE, right?
Right, yeah, it's not going to benefit you any arena.
The other thing, it's not really arena, and the other thing is it's probably an offensive team and not a defensive team. Typically, whenever you're dealing with an offensive team, you can use an offensive team not with all their Zetas. The Zeta on Boss is not going to make or break that team. And we found out that it doesn't work sometimes. Like Grimace said, if the characters don't have any protection, it really don't work.
And to note too, like look at the faction that's this most comparable to the bounty hunters, Imperial Troopers, right? Imperial Troopers are a great team to go against on offense in territory wars, right? And then you could use them in arena at one point on offense, but they aren't going to hold on defense, right? So it's the same comparison in the sense, how they have that one target singled, like Veers has the AoE that calls all the troopers to assist, and then you have the stun mechanic with Bosk that calls everyone to assist. And dynamically, both teams recover health and protection, gain buffs, but ultimately it won't hold on defense. So it does make perfect sense for it to be an offensive team.
The difference, though, is that Imperial Trooper team is a 1 Zeta team.
Right, and then the bounty hunters, not that you have to do them all.
Probably a 2 Zeta team.
Yeah,
or
at least 2
minimum.
Mm-hmm. Like possibly like Bosk's unique, and then maybe Boba Fett, because most people already have Boba Fett.
Greedo, the stun.
Yeah, because like Loki, for example, Loki didn't want to Zeta his Greedo just to do that bounty hunter event, but he was really considering it just to make the team that much more valuable.
There's no turn meter game. Right?
Exactly. You get turn meter manipulation, but that's more of like a second, third, or fourth Zeta.
Right. So I would tell you if you got something burning a hole.
Hey. So can we talk about the Omegas, not the Zetas?
Yeah, I made a video on that, man. That's nasty. It's 217 Omegas if you haven't put any Omegas on your bounty hunters in general. The whole faction, 217 Omega mats.
Would you say that is a plethora of Omegas?
Yeah, 217 Omegas. If you haven't put any Omegas on the bounty hunters in general, and that's including all the Zetas too as well.
No,
that's like a year's worth of Omegas.
Yeah, 217, man. If you guys haven't already, I got a video I just put out a couple of days ago. Go check it out. It's only like 5 minutes.
Oh crap!
Okay, next question.
Good luck.
Ski Trooper question: Best Sith leader who is in Zol for Sith team on the last day of Darkside territory battles. Do I use EP there and use Zeta or Thrawn for Empire mission?
So
You're 12 Treya.
So there's a couple different ways you could do this, right?
You're 12 Treya. Yeah, well, okay.
Go throw Treya in there.
Tarkin is a really great Empire leader, right?
Right, speed.
So is Vader. So is EP.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, if you want to do a Sith team, you could do a Sith team where you did Maul with Sith Assassin.
Is Nihilus an option? What we tended to find. Nihilus lead, so they all heal every time they hit.
And then do Sith Assassin on the team for the turn meter gain.
Yeah, Sith Trooper for like an auto toner.
Sith Trooper because he gets retribution, so he's keeping himself alive.
Mm-hmm. Attacking out of turn.
Mr. Gnarly.
You could totally do that.
Shocks people, and he just goes like a jackhammer. So
and
he's, he's constantly green.
All those Empire, all of those rebels crit a lot.
I mean, if you're really hurting for a Sith leader, you can also do Savage.
Yeah, his is an Omega, and it keeps the team alive. If you have the Zeta on Savage, that makes it that much better. It's unique.
I mean, he gets overlooked a lot, but he's still a really good Sith character.
Hey, you could do Dooku lead for evasion.
Yeah, and gives offensive buffs.
Heck, you could do Sidious too.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Sidious's lead, if you have it done, the stacking offense does carry over.
Also,
it's unique that stacks.
Also, what you could do is you could do a Maul lead and put Kylo Ren on the team, regular Kylo Ren. So that way everyone's stealth, and you're left with Kylo Ren with retribution.
Yeah, and he's calling retribution out of turn, and he's the only one not stealthing, so there's like a forced taunter.
And if you have his protection on, if you have his Zeta, then he gets protection. Regen.
Yep. So he's just standing there constantly regaining health and protection back.
That's an old school team, though. That's a really old school team.
Yeah.
That's probably from a year ago.
Did we mention the Mr. Gnarly lead?
We did. Nihilus? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Dooku.
I said Dooku. Dooku and Nihilus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dooku. Because that another old school squad, isn't it? The dodgy Dukes.
Okay.
Paul Morgan gave $2 and he said, question, can you define sandbagging a raid?
Sandbagging a raid?
Yeah.
I don't really know how you sandbag a raid. I know how you sandbag defense on territory wars, but typically whenever I think of the term sandbagging, I typically think that someone has not put in the effort that they should have and still won, right? Anybody else think of that as being the definition of sandbagging?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you would sandbag a raid. Anybody else know how you would do that?
Post a 0 while everyone else is doing damage.
Be in a very, very, very high GP guild. Let them do it.
Then I
you're 12 Treya that killed the raid.
Yeah.
I blame Grande.
Yeah, solo the entire raid when you forget to turn airplane mode on.
We did have a guy that soloed it early yesterday and was so beside himself, upset that he had messed it up.
What, the Sith raid?
No, he soloed it. He put his phone on 1 speed auto and then got called away from his desk, came back, and he had dropped damage 20 minutes early. Was really upset. But I was like, it's Rancor, nobody cares.
I got caught out on phase 1 Sith raid. I was just trying my squad out. I put it onto flight mode I've got an iPhone, but the Wi-Fi was still lit up, and it posted the damage. So even though flight mode was lit up,
Wi-Fi wins.
Wi-Fi
yeah,
wins
Wi-Fi
over.
trumps. Wi-Fi trumps airplane mode. Here's another one. Here's another one. If you have an iPhone, I think this is true for Android too, and you put it on airplane mode and you turn Wi-Fi off, there was a way where my phone found internet connection through the Bluetooth connection between my phone and my computer. And so I had Wi-Fi on, I had it on airplane mode, and I still posted damage because of a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah,
what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to turn Wi-Fi off, airplane mode on, hit your phone with a hammer, then do the raid.
Yeah, apparently I have to turn off Bluetooth, turn off Wi-Fi, turn on airplane mode, and then it works. That's science, right?
And then wrap it in tinfoil.
Yes, you have to wrap it in tinfoil again.
And put it 20 feet underwater.
And make
in a jar of rice.
Fairy daughter. Yes. All right, next question.
Tony Bobe, I got a big update on App Store, but no changes. Is something coming? Like 100 megabytes download.
So, can I tell you what?
That was like
a
couple days ago.
So,
is that Sir Loki's crystal drop for the month?
Yeah. So here's my guess is. My guess is that they preloaded our devices with the new title update, so that they gave us all a week so that it's all up there, and then they can flick a switch and we all change at the same time. Remember that we have a complete arena that's changing, right? Ships arena, right? And it's going from 5 and 4 to 3 and 4 on ships. Can you imagine if it took a week for everyone to get the update? And so you were going in, you got the update early, which means you're going in with 3 in the front and 4 in the back, and you're fighting a guy that has 5 in the front and 4 in the back. So you're going in with 7, and he's going in with 9. Who do you think's going to win that battle?
Me.
So I think what they did is they front loaded our stuff so that way they could just flick a switch and we're all to 3-4 at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense because you speculated something like that when the updates were being announced. And then on top of that, it makes more sense because you don't want the servers crossing each other from an older format to a newer format. Well, and like you said, with the advantage and disadvantage, you could have a bunch of lag, or you could even have people glitching or logging out of the game.
No. Let me just tell you, this happened before. Whenever we got mods did not populate to everyone the same day.
Right.
Because they didn't populate to everyone the same day, it meant that if you didn't hurry up and download the app and actually start farming and putting mods on your characters, there was no way. I mean, think about it. You have 5 characters.
Yeah, you're like behind the curb.
And they have 5 characters with 1 or 2 dots, or a couple 3 dots, or a couple 4 dots. You're never gonna win. So
yeah, because you're behind the curve and everyone else is already across the street at that point.
Yes. So I think they learned from their mistakes too.
Science.
It's science.
It might help whenever Grande reminds them about that, though.
CG Grande's back, everybody.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Coulson.
Formerly known as Grande.
The artist formerly known as Grande, that's right.
Paul Morgan donated $5. Mm-hmm. I did 5 million in phase 1, then told to sit out raid because I flowed into phase 2. Not enough phase 1 damage.
What?
I have no idea, dude. That sounds
like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's not science.
That sounds like your guild has some convoluted rules.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I only did 5 million phase 1, and then I did some more damage in phase 2. You son of a bitch.
Here's the other thing, too. Let's talk about guild management and rules for a minute. If you want to have happy players, try to have as few rules as possible.
Some rules are necessary. Let's be clear.
I mean, rules are necessary, right?
But extra rules aren't needed.
But we don't need to put any extra as few extra things on the player as possible, because otherwise they're all gonna fuck up. I mean, they're all gonna mess up all the time, right? And the other thing is you catch yourself in one of these rules too. So, and the other thing, and one of the things is I never want to discourage a player from participation, right?
Right, or restrict a player from doing anything that they want to do in a sense that's going to not affect the guild,
I mean, if somebody's busting their butt and they're doing good, I kind of want to give them a little bit of slack and grace. My first thought is I always want to err on the side of slack and grace. Now, if someone's messed the guild over 3 or 4 times, like they didn't set their defenses on TW,
right?
And they didn't do anything on offense either, and then they, yeah. Guess what, buddy? You're probably going to be out. The person didn't do their 600 for a couple of days and they don't communicate. Guess what? You're out. But you're in the middle of a Zerg, or someone's in the middle of working on the raid. If you do a staggered raid, and they do damage and go into the next phase, who the frick cares, man?
I've never heard of such a thing. You overperformed.
Let's say you even have a 0 period, right? So you have a 0 period on the raid, and somebody accidentally sets their phone down because they need to brush their 7-year-old's teeth, and they accidentally.
I did 5 million damage, which is what most people shoot for as a percentage for phase 1 of the raid, and then you did extra damage in phase 2. I do not see what the issue is here.
I don't either.
Yeah, you want the most participation out of all your guild members. That's the concept, isn't it?
You participate too much. How dare you?
Get together. Yeah,
unless you've got
all 50 people coming together. Yeah,
unless he's in an undemocratic guild where one person or a few people are. We take the top rewards. You get what's left over.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
sounds like
there are some
unfair to your guildmates.
No, I know this.
Let me tell you something. This is not the feudal system, right? It's not Grande's guild. It's not Ranger's guild. It's not Mike's guild. It's a group team effort here, which means whoever finishes the best, they get the rewards. Occasionally, and in fact, this was a long time ago. But I remember we had one guy that put 0s in the Rancor raid for like a year and a half, right? Well, guess what? We get down to the end, and this is the only guy that doesn't have a 7-star Han Solo. With the entire guild, we were like, okay, this guy gets to post early, and this guy's the only guy soloing the raid for like 4 raids. No, everybody's to 0, and this guy solos the raid by himself. Early.
Yeah, you need
always
Han.
Gets rank 1, right? And why did we do that? Because we wanted everybody to have 7-star OG Han, and this guy's the only guy without it. Which guess what? So we actually called a 1-person solo of the Rancor for like 4 Rancors so that he could get it done. And you know what? The same thing happened again. We don't do it at unlocks. But we've done it before for 7-star. Once, you've got the top 10 people that always post in the top 10 on the heroic Sith raid, and they've all got a 7-star Treya. I could guarantee you they will post 0s and let everyone else take those top 10 spots so that they can get 7-star Treyas. And then, you'll see this go on, and until we get the majority of the guild that's sitting there with a 7-star Treya, a bunch of people are going to take a back seat because that's just the right thing to do.
Agreed. I mentioned earlier about me posting damage early.
Yeah.
Kind of one of the gestures that we normally, anyone that transgresses on that tends to go into donations and fill the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a look. I've dropped the ball. I'm sorry, guys, but at least this is a gesture from me. I'm saying sorry, but also
everybody makes a boo boo now and then, right?
Stick a request in, and I'll go and I'll do that, and at least
excellent example, Mike.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We have to talk about the range of a infraction inside the guild, right? Here's a good example. If that one guy that posted damage early and soloed the thing by himself like 20 minutes early, he got a little profile pic that had a picture of Justin Bieber and and a masturbation device as his profile pic.
That's awful.
Right?
Well, not the masturbation device, Justin Bieber.
I thought that's what Justin Bieber is.
Yeah. Who is that?
I'm telling you, we did it like that because it's funny, right? I mean, here's this guy comes in the chat. Everybody, I'm sorry, I messed up. All right, here's your profile pic. Go fill up donations. Let's all laugh about it, and in 2 days, switch your profile pic back, right? I mean, it's silly. We get to all kind of have a laugh about it and say, hey, it could have just as easily been me. And then we get to move on, right? I mean, the idea here is mild, a very mild version of a punishment. And then a real quick kind of slap on the back. We all could have done it, and let's move on. Some of these people we have been gaming with for 2+ years. You don't sit there and smack somebody and beat them around for minor crap.
Give me an example. Like Monday, I was super busy. I was doing the streams, Battlefront. I had papers due. And the guild launched all the raids previously at the same time, right? They wrote the Heroics, Rancor, Heroic AT, and the Sith raid. I didn't catch the Sith raid. So I just looked at the normal announcements like, okay, it just didn't respond to me, right? So I'm up doing that, did the streams, did everything. And I did everything else. Did my 600, did everything else in game. Get up the next day, Tuesday, and or Monday. Was it Monday? Yeah, it was our Tuesday. And Shields messaged me. He's like, "Hey, you didn't post anything for Heroic Sith." I'm like, "There was a Heroic Sith raid." He didn't beat me up about. We just laughed about it. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "But you didn't browbeat me. You didn't do anything. We just joked. We were laughing about it. People make mistakes. You don't go there and crush them because of it." So.
Exactly. You cannot crush somebody over something.
Right.
I totally agree. I mean, whatever.
The other one I like
real life gets in the way.
It is that they have to type out the entire lyrics of a song, but one line at a time, and only when somebody else chats in your guild chat.
I mean, it is what it is. All right, next, let's get to 2 or 3 more questions.
Chris Hackey, question: my mod farming strat is 3 days per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On 2 of the days I do speed, and 1 day I do something else I'm lacking in. Is that a good strat? Do you guys have any other suggestions?
No, that's
I love that strategy.
Yeah, it's a good strat.
Yeah, it's different from what we've suggested too. Like we usually suggest like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just 2-3 days out of the week, anything like that. So that's perfect.
Whatever does, he's hedging his bets. I like it.
Yeah. It's solid plot.
Trevor Christensen, question: why does almost everyone on the RSG crew say Fulcrum Ahsoka isn't that good every time she's brought up? She gets an unavoidable 80k plus damage on her special attack on my Commander Luke Arena team. My Commander Luke Arena team has Luke Lead, Old Ben R2, Raid Han, and Fulcrum Ahsoka. Fulcrum is key to beating Jedi Ray teams and also Scion.
Okay.
See, that's the thing with Fulcrum, though, is she is really, really good on offense, but she sucks on defense.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
She is super easy to kill on defense.
Agreed.
Especially against an EP team.
Where she's just constantly getting debuffed and she's losing all her
Yeah, she kills herself.
It's basically, it's just like, I don't even bother with her. I just like keep debuffs going on and she's just going down and down.
She works amazing. Exactly. She works amazing on offense. She does not hold very well at all on defense. She hits the wrong character sometimes. There's a bunch of things that she does, the other things too that are really bad is, you know, she could still get plagued, and she could still get fractured. So, you know, I mean, if you're looking at it, you can still get plagued and you can still get fractured. It means she's not immune to as much stuff as she should be. In my mind, she should never get plague. And the reason why is because effectively she's a Night Sister, or she has a lot of Night Sister synergies. In my mind, she shouldn't be able to get plagued. But whatever. They didn't design the game.
Yeah, what do you know, Grande?
Is she a good piece? Yes. Is she a top 50 character? Yes. But she's not very arena viable for holding on defense in an established server.
Right. Well said.
Grand Admiral. Question: I want to take one of my bounty hunters to Gear 12. Which of the two should I do, Greedo or Dengar? Also, why are Tits and T-Money always absent from the lunch hour?
Because they're working.
They are working. You want to take Greedo or Dengar?
Ooh. I'd say Greedo.
Yeah,
Greedo is amazing.
Greedo as well. But I'd say, can I get another option, please? I mean, you're basically telling me to
well, maybe he already has the other two, Boba Fett and IG-88 at Gear 12. You know, we don't know.
He says he wants to take one of his bounty hunters to Gear 12. Well, it sounds like he doesn't have any of them to Gear 12 yet.
Right.
Mm.
He's like saying, do you want to sit in a chair that's wet, or do you want to lay on a bed that's wet?
Mm.
That's what it sounds like to me. You know, definitely lay on both.
Well, what if it was scented oils, Grande? I think that would be nice.
No, you have to wet it yourself. That's the
well, okay. So,
I
with scented oils.
Scented oils and bedwetting.
It rubs the lotion onto the skin.
When you tell me my only two choices are Dengar or Greedo to Gear 12.
Dengar first.
I'd say Greedo, but that's just me.
You know, and if you do, both are good characters now since the rework. But Greedo
okay.
with
let's be real, they're okay. Well, they're niche.
Greedo with his rework made him so much better. I mean, he's the dark side version of freaking Raid Han now. He can double tap on his basic, which hits really freaking hard, especially under a Boba lead. He can do the thermal detonators, which he gains turn meter from when they explode 1 turn later. He's got turn meter removal and a stun that cannot be resisted. You know, he's gotten amazing compared to the other bounty hunters.
But he just takes so much freaking gear, man.
So yeah, his gear grind does suck, but I mean, he's worth
Dengar
it.
is. Every time I turn around, Dengar needs 3 Carvantes for every gear level.
Yeah, that's how Greedo is the stun cuffs.
Stun cuffs and Greedo are awful all the way through. I mean, I've got 5 gold bounty hunters now.
Yeah, but you know, it is a slog, but it is worth it, especially for the galactic bounties.
Yes, I mean that's where the Omegas are I think are really worth investing in. If you've got, Boba's the best bounty hunter leader. Bosk is probably the easiest contract to fill. And if they're all Omega'd, then they all hit the jackpot, and then you've got a completely different squad.
And that's nice. All right.
True that.
Last question.
Thoka, question. Grande, what's your favorite kind of chicken?
Ooh, what's my favorite kind of chicken? I'm gonna say my favorite kind of chicken is chicken wings. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, baked chicken cordon bleu. I don't know what.
Coq au vin. Go a bit European.
And
right. That's not a chicken in a pickup truck.
All right. Are we done with questions?
Yeah, after that one, yeah.
That's all the questions.
Okay, perfect. Ronnie, would you like to take us out today? I always do it, but
yeah, I'll take us out. So you've been watching the lunchtime stream for Reality Skewed Gamers. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We want to make sure to thank all of our guests and thank all the RSG crew. Mike Hunt, we're glad you were here. Make sure you look at Mike's channel on YouTube. It's Mike Hunt. Make sure that you take a look at also Xylo Takedown here on YouTube. Big shout out to Grim, Saintly Red. Thanks again for all the questions. Ranger for doing the stream. Make sure you join us today. We're gonna have and Vincelli. We're gonna make sure we have a Battlefront stream later on today.
Yeah, V, when are we doing that?
What time's Wednesday stream start again?
It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
You want to do one early and give us some time in between, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's do it early.
Okay, you want to do it here in about an hour? You do it from like 2 to 6, and then gives a couple hours for the 8.
Stream.
Does that work for you?
I guess.
We'll have a Battlefront stream today.
Okay,
Make sure you join us this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's all the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news that's fit to print. We'll have a couple guests. We'll have a lot of regulars. That'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you're watching all of our other streams that we have as well. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, Grande, you've done an amazing job. Please be speed. No, it's not. God, stupid arrows are not giving me speed. Stupid. Look at this gold, no speed. Look at all these damn knots. Like, no. See this one. No. Oh, look, a tenacity mod. Let's see what this one has. I bet it has speed on it. No, it didn't. No, I'm shocked. All right. So, everyone enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you for the Battlefront stream, and we'll see you tonight for the Star Wars Galaxy Hero stream. Everyone, take care.